The jacket is on. The gloves are on. We have a Marvel shirt. That means only one thing here at the Omnibus Cafe. It's time to talk about more Ghost Rider. Today we'll be covering Jason Aaron's run on Ghost Rider in this pretty small omnibus. I don't know why they didn't put the day away stuff on here, but yeah, let's check it out. Let's go over it today on the Omnibus Cafe. All right, and welcome back. And here is, of course, the cover for Jason Aaron's Ghost Rider Omnibus run. So got the spine as well. Like I said, very small Omni, not very big at all. And we're gonna take out this dust cover and see what's inside. So we got a blue Ghost Rider. We'll talk about that in the actual issue itself. But yeah, that's the interior. And we have our good old Ghost Rider. So what's that about? Let's find out. All right, so where we last left off in the Daniel Way run, because like I said, I feel like that they should have just collected the Daniel Way stuff along this to make it into one hobby, but I guess they just wanted to collect the Jason Aaron stuff. But anyway, what happened at the in the Daniel Way run is Johnny was stuck in hell for a while. Yes, Johnny was stuck in hell, and he had the spirit of vengeance again. Long story, we'll get into it one day, but yeah, so. He's stuck in hell. He finally escapes, but his only way of escaping was Satan hitching a ride with him, and Satan / Mephisto deciding, hey, you know, it'd be fun. Let me split my essence into different parts all over the world and possess different people. So Johnny had to go around and take down different people who were in possession of the essence of Mephisto. So that was the Daniel Way run. But also what we find out near the end of that run is the Spirit of Vengeance was not fully created by Hell or by Mephisto. It's actually considered to be an entity of heaven. There was a rogue angel named Zakiel. He's the one that came up with the idea of the Spirits of Vengeance, and he's the one that created this curse for Johnny, and all these are Spirits of Vengeance that we're going to see throughout this book. So Johnny's whole quest is now he's pissed. He's pissed that not only has he been a pawn to hell, but he's been a pawn to heaven. So, last book he took out hell. This one he's going after heaven. So this is where we start. Johnny starts where he's in a confessional and he's about to confess what he's about to do. And the Padre himself says, if you got a hotline to the pearly gates. If you got a hotline to the pearly gates, Padre, I want you to tell him I'm coming, you hear? Tell him vengeance is coming. Well, that's what Johnny said, not the Padre, but. Yeah, so basically we start here where Johnny's on a quest to get to heaven, and one of the things that he has to encounter is he's got to deal with these defenders of the throne, defenders of Zakiel, disciples of Zakiel, who are disguised as these crazy, deadly nurses. So yeah, if you want to see Ghost Rider take down some crazy nurses, this is the book for you. I would say also really good art by Ronald Boucher here as well. And Johnny also at one point he has to deal with going through this one haunted highway. Also, one thing that's cool too is we get to see the origin of how Johnny was even able to make that deal with Mephisto in the first place. Where when he's a kid back in the circus, he finds this one book that shows him the ways of like the devil and hell with a pentagram on it. You see Ghost Rider like kick some ass here. One other thing we do find out though later on is we're also going to get a new version of the Caretaker. Caretaker is a very important character in Ghost Rider lore. He's actually the one that like mentors all the Ghost Riders. He's actually, if you see the movie, that's Sam Elliott. That's who Sam Elliott plays. So, but in this we get a new version of Caretaker. Just trying to find her. While Johnny's in this like one prison bus. Yeah. Johnny at one point ends up being in prison, and of course it's actually kind of similar to the movie in a way where it's like this is the one place I should not be in right now because of like all the killers and all the sinners, and it's gonna obviously make his transformation happen. And then we also get this big gentleman, Deacon. Deacon is a big threat in this book. He acts as a big villain. He's a huge disciple of Sakil. He fully believes in Sakil's purpose of wanting to like take over heaven. Because, yeah, that's the other thing that's going on. While Johnny's trying to get to heaven, Sakil has this whole plan of wanting to like take over heaven because he's been this like rogue angel that doesn't fully believe in like God's ways and wants to like take over the kingdom of heaven for himself. And this is her. This is the new Caretaker. But we also see that Sakil is getting some help, some very unexpected help from Danny Ketch, of all people. Danny Ketch he's got this new crew. He's back, and he's got this new crew with the Orb, and surprisingly Blackout from the original Danny Ketch run. So yeah, Danny's actually kind of more of a villain in this book at first. I mean, he eventually goes back to the good side eventually, but he is kind of a villain at first because one of the things that is going on is Danny resents the spirit of vengeance for ruining his life, basically like most Ghost Riders do, and Sakil has made a deal with him that he believes that like if we take out all the spirits of vengeance, take out all the Ghost Riders, you'd be helping them, Danny. You'd be helping them free them of their pain. But of course, what he's actually doing is that what Danny is doing is he's taking away all these Ghost Riders' powers, but he's also storing it for himself to get ready to give to Sakil, which Sakil is going to use to take over heaven. And again, there's the new Caretaker. Yeah, what happened is the original Caretaker in the original Danny Ketch volumes, he ends up dying in this book, and this is actually his granddaughter now inheriting the throne, I guess you could say, or inheriting the business. And this is Sakil. Scatter the shards of the wretched souls to the winds of eternity, and wherever his screams may carry, let them know the name of Sakil. Sakil is a really cool villain. It has like a really cool design. And I love this cover, by the way. And yes, so the big reveal or the big spoiler is that yes, this is Danny. Danny is the blue Ghost Rider. And one of the things that's cool about this book is that we eventually do see that Danny and Johnny are actually going to face off to see once and for all who is the better Ghost Rider. I don't know why I seem to be into characters that have like a whole legacy, and also there's like two guys that each inherit the throne, and fans debate about who's better. I don't know, I guess they're just my type. But yeah, we got this one over here where Danny turns, he goes, I don't need your Ghost Rider, Johnny. I got my own. And of course, like with Daniel, Daniel's actually a lot more powerful than Johnny at this point because he's absorbed other spirits' powers. So Johnny's got his own while Danny's got like a whole bunch. So the two of them finally face off. This is probably one of the coolest issues in the run. And overall, like I said, this is some good stuff. Admittedly, the run does kind of get dragged out a bit. But anyway, before I get more into that, I want to talk about this too, which I think is cool. Is I like seeing Johnny give Danny the penance stare, because the penance stare is actually something that was created in the Daniel Ketch run, as we talked about in Volume 1. So that was created, so it was cool to see Danny get a taste of his own medicine, which Johnny even says that. You're about to find out what it feels like on the receiving end. But then Danny eventually does get the better of him and gives him his own penance stare. And from this, Johnny now kind of feels what it's like to not be with the spirit, and now he's obsessed with getting rid of the spirit. Like, he wants to get rid of this pain. He doesn't fully finish the job because Caretaker comes in and stops the process. But now throughout some of this book, Johnny's acting more like depressed now. He's kind of out of it. And it takes him a while to get back into it. And we also see here, we see more Ghost Riders coming in to help out. And we get this one Ghost Rider in Japan who ends up having a fight with Danny. Danny ends up taking him out. And then we get this exchange with Danny and Zakil, where, again, you can see how Zakil is playing with Danny. Danny's basically just like a pawn in this, where he goes, I just need you to remind me that we're doing the right thing here. Tell me again this is for their own good. Oh, you miserable little twit. What did you say? I said, of course, it's for their own good, Danny. Of course, yes, it's totally for their own good. I don't have my own nefarious ways. Yeah, totally killed the Ghost Riders, but then give me the power. And then we get this epic shot here, which I love, where Zakil's just looking at like heaven, and he says, even heaven can be conquered. So, like, unfortunately, yeah, Danny believes he is doing good, but he's basically just being acted as a pawn. And also, at one point, what happens, too, is we get this one character named Kowalski. He's a former cop who's got some, like, issues with the Ghost Rider, and he ends up meeting a gentleman named Michael Bandito. Michael Bandito is a very big character in the Ghost Rider lore. I haven't really talked about him yet, because I haven't gotten to Danny Ketch Volume 2. So I won't give away too much about him, but let's just say this guy, Kowalski, inherits Michael's role in the book. And one of the things that he ends up doing is he ends up getting his hands on the original Hellfire shotgun that Johnny had back in the Danny Ketch run. I mean, technically he could be Danny Blaze. They are brothers, so... So we get more spirits of vengeance here. It's really cool seeing like different types of them, like, and seeing them with like different vehicles. Some could be on a horse, some could be in a car, like Robbie Reyes. I think though it works best with a motorcycle, though. That's just my personal opinion. There is a reason why Danny and Johnny are like the main two. And eventually, though, Johnny does come around, because one of the things that he does mention, or that he sees a vision where where he sees these like two kids in like this village that are like getting ready to like fight, and Johnny's like, all right, well, they're willing to fight, I'm willing to fight too. But more importantly, one of the things that goes on is that why he wants to stop Sakil from taking over heaven is, of course, like his wife and children on there. Yeah, Roxanne and the children like died, unfortunately, way back in the Danny Ketch run. So basically now Johnny knows that they could possibly be threatened in heaven. Yeah, he wants to make sure that doesn't happen. And we get this big fight, this big war in heaven, this big war on earth. Johnny and Danny do fight again, but then, like I said, that other gentleman with the shotgun, Kowalski, he ends up taking down Johnny during his second fight with Danny, and Danny basically absorbs Johnny's power. He ends up ascending to heaven. He gives all the power to Sakil. But as that happens, Sakil ends up taking over heaven. And it is felt throughout the Marvel Universe. You get to see Spider-Man. Wowza, Spider-Sense is doing the Watusi. Something big shirt's going down. If it's another Secret War, I am so moving to El Silico. We got this guy, Marvel fans help me out, I'm not sure who he is, Brother Voodoo. Never heard of him, sorry. This is probably my favorite with Mephisto. Mephisto, like, in his throat, like, damn you, Sakil! For the thunder speaks of great battles of nigh. Somewhere in the heavens, mighty gods make war. Man things just like, whoop. And then I love this too, where like one guy that like Frank Castle's about to kill, he's like, "Hey, did you feel that?" And Frank's like, "No." Boom. So yeah, what ends up happening is Sakil ends up taking over heaven, and then fire ends up like raining out earth. And one of the things that ends up raining down is Danny. And also another effect of this too is Kowalski ends up becoming the new inheritor of Michael Bandito's original role in the Ghost Rider lore. He becomes the character known as Vengeance. Vengeance was basically, let's make Ghost Rider more anti-hero or more extreme. Like, he's kind of like the dark, like, he's like, what's a good way? I guess, like, he's like the Shadow, or he's like the Red Hood, like, he's the badass version of Ghost Rider. But I think Ghost Rider's already badass, but alright. But anyway, yeah. So, Danny ends up falling down back to Earth, and he just says Sakil won. And admittedly, this is where I feel like the book kind of drags a bit. Because there is some good stuff. We get some more lore about the Ghost Riders. And we get to learn more about them, which is kind of cool. But I feel like it just goes on for a bit. Especially because the whole purpose is Danny and Johnny are going to get to heaven to take down Sakil. That's happening. The problem with it is I just feel like it goes on way too long. So the book does kind of drag here for me. There's still some good stuff in here, but yeah, it does kind of drag to a bit. I mean, once you do get to the end, the ending is awesome. It just takes a bit to get there. Like at one point, the book ends with this mini-series called Heaven's on Fire. This is basically a 6-issue series. I think this should have been 3. Yeah, we get this epic shot with the two brothers. The two brothers finally get back, and they get their spirits and powers back. And one of the things they do is they end up assembling an army of Ghost Riders that are going to like storm the gates of heaven, and they end up being this one character, this one nun who helps them out specifically because she's a friend of Caretaker, Mother Superior. We also get the son of Mephisto that helps him out as well. well, Damien, he comes in as well. Because one of the things is that Sakil is, like, just causing such misbalance between the worlds that, like, basically this is a time where now we actually kind of have to team up with Hell because basically Zakil made heaven into, like, hell but worse. So there's, like, no balance. It's just full evil. There's no good. Nothing's going... There's no hope, basically. And Zakil's, like, basically the only one in full power of, like, evil and all that. And Mephisto and everyone's like, well, that's not right, you know? And here's Zakil in heaven after he's, like, slayed all these angels. That's what it's like to be God. And then eventually, Mother Superior opens the door, the gateway to heaven for Danny and Johnny to ride into it, while caretaker Mother Superior, and the rest of the nuns are going to deal with Deacon to take him out. Again, he's been a big threat throughout this whole book, and he's a sick character too. He's talking about like horrors and all this. Like he's a very effed up character. But yeah, we get this cool visual of Johnny and Danny riding into heaven. And here's the Keel saying, like, do your worst. And this is the big final issue, the big climax. Where there is one moment here where Zakil is just too powerful. He ends up taking them down. But then they get a little more motivation. Specifically, Johnny gets motivation when he sees Roxanne and the kids. And he knows, like if they're threatened, then nothing's going to stop me from taking them down. Taking down Zakil. And then we get this great moment where all the other spirits of vengeance, all the Ghost Riders throughout the years that Zakil has made have come back for revenge on him. And they end up taking Zakil down. We get this great moment where Mephisto takes possession of, like, this one guy, and he's coming in getting ready to charge with all the demons from hell, and he's like, charge! And then he's like, wait, what the hell? What am I looking at? And Johnny's just like, Ghost Riders. A lot of fucking Ghost Riders, and all of them take down Zakil. It's so cool, so awesome. And then we get this nice moment too where things are finally back to normal. We get this big white light. Johnny goes, what the hell was that? And Roxanne goes, it was God. Heaven is his again, and he wants to thank you, Johnny, for everything you've done. Johnny goes, he planned on bringing you and the kids back to life and ridding me of this damn Ghost Rider curse. He can't do that, Johnny. You still have much work left to do. Figures. That is totally the life of Johnny Blaze. And I like this moment where him and Roxanne do embrace. And then also, here's the moment where Johnny Blaze has forever became my all-time favorite Marvel character. Where he goes, tell God, next time he should fight his own battles for a change. If he expects me to do it, tell him he can kiss my ass. Fucking metal. And then the book ends where it's caretaker Johnny and Danny riding off into the sunset on their way to their next adventure. And that is Ghost Rider by Jason Aaron. So overall, yeah, I really did enjoy this arc, especially some of the surprising turns that they had in it, particularly with what they did with Danny. But yeah, it's really good stuff, and you guys should check it out. And again, of course, as always, like subscribe to the Omnibus Cafe. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.
If you're looking for great deals on collected edition comics or manga, we recommend shopping at panelboundcomics.com. They offer free shipping on orders over $30, plus bundle discounts to help you save even more. And if you're shopping from Europe or the UK, comicsbugle.com offers free EU shipping and a rewards program for regular buyers. Don't forget to use our discount codes at checkout.